order. Could it impact your personality? Think about it. Could the sequence of your birth among siblings shape your character? Dr. Frieda Birnbaum, research psychologist and psychotherapist, is joining us now to explain more about the theory. Good morning.
How are you, Zach? Always great to see you. But you know, it does affect the rest of our lives if we let it happen. Because if you're the firstborn, watch out. You're going to be the responsible one. The parents are neurotic. They're nervous. They never had a kid before. They sterilize everything, including the blankets. So you're in deep trouble. But there's one good thing. Your IQ could be a little bit higher than the rest of the siblings. So that may be a trade-off if that's what you want. But, you know, you may not have a choice, because if you're the middle child, you get no attention at all. And usually these children have to make up for it. So they're competitive. They want to have people like them. They're people pleasers. And the parents just don't have any time for them. And then the younger ones, well, they can do whatever they want. It's a free for all. Parents are so tired, they could care less. So they're more carefree, and they're really much more fun to be around. I was the youngest of 3 girls, and by that time, my parents could have cared less. I had to make up my own curfew when I went on a date, just to look like I was responsible. So what is your birth role? Where are you in this first, second, last child? What is your birth stage that you're in?
Number 1, firstborn.
Wow.
I pave the path, as my father says. My father's also firstborn of 5. My mother is the baby of 3, and I'm the oldest of 2.
Very interesting, because you're very responsible and you have a creative position. So that's, you know, something that's a great combination. But then again, you know, we're reaching another stage of when you are born and what stage the parents are in. So the relationship can really make a big difference. If the parents are arguing all the time, you know, what kind of role model do you really have? And if they're getting along, well, that's great. Then you learn these traits and into adulthood. And then, of course, economically, what happens with that? Because, you know, if you have toys and you have everything you want and you have vacations and you have money for after-school activities, well, that puts you in a different social arena than the other kids if the parents don't have that. And that often happens when the parents are older as well. So that makes a huge difference. And then the gender. If you're a girl or a boy, you know, guess what? Research has shown that you could be twins. And if you're born together at the same time, I mean, one gets out first than the other, of course, but that would be interesting to see if they could both come out, but that doesn't happen. But anyway, doesn't matter the birth order. The girl is always the caretaker, and the boy is the one that inherits the business. So that's interesting. Of course, you have to have a business for your child to inherit it, but still, that's really the case. So birth order, gender is very important as well. So that's a mix between when you were born, what order you were born in, and your gender. So that complicates things even more.
What about an only child, only children here?
You know, only children are a whole different breed of their own, because they don't have to think about anything. I mean, the parents worry that, oh, they're lonely, but really they have it all. They get to be with the adults as much as they want. They get to be catered to whatever it is that they need. And they're the ones that are center stage. So they're really in a very good place. And you can always have play dates. They even have people come from other countries to host and to stay with their kids as playmates as well.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad deal. I think that's the best deal, to be an only child, really. If I had that choice, that's where I would be.
That's what you would pick, yeah? As much as my brother drives me crazy at times, I'm not sure I've ever loved anyone as much as I do him. I hate him at times, but I love him. So I'm thankful for that relationship. But he really does get under my skin.
What age is he? Is he younger, older?
We are 2.5 years apart. He actually lives here in Houston. We're watching his dog this weekend because he decided yesterday he was going to spend the weekend in Cancun. So good for him, right?
Yes.
I'm being the good brother that I am to help support his his little adventures. But no, he really is a great guy.
I just have to say, you mentioned him before.
Yeah.
Just to let you know. So you really do care about each other. But your qualities are very interesting because you're very responsible, but you're also very creative because you're in a creative field. But you're so insightful and you're so responsive as an interviewer. So that's the creative part of you. So you are a mix. And that's really interesting. So you have both combinations to be this great interviewer. And then we're looking at Zach. You know, how can you change this? Because otherwise, you can be stuck in this role the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get out of it? Well, it's really up to the parent mostly. As a child, you depend on how they treat you. So the oldest child can be somebody that can have equality in the marriage, and not the marriage, maybe eventually in the marriage, but equality. I'm so used to talking about marriages, but equality in the family, that he's the one that is given that kind of attention. And then the middle child who's given no attention, they can be productive, give them projects, give them things to do that they can feel that they're not being ignored. And then the child, the last child, the one that's carefree, well, you know, it's nothing wrong with being carefree, but some responsibility wouldn't hurt either to balance, and that's what you have. You have the balance of the older child and the younger child. You're very fortunate that you picked that up. And also as an adult, by the way, you can make those changes yourself. So if you're the first and you're responsible, you can be a musician, you can be an actor. If you're the middle child, you could go into politics, you can be a speaker and get a lot of attention with that. And a younger child, the last child, you could be a teacher, you could be a parent. So you can really reinvent yourself as an adult if you really want to, but maybe you like the role you're in. So that's something that you have to really consider. So we do have that kind of control to have whatever it is we want, but our personalities also have something to do with it as well. So being the youngest, and I happen to have the youngest daughter, and having to make up all these stories to these kids because, after all, it won't look right. And my parents were like, I don't know where they were. So that made me, being the youngest, made me the most responsible. So I had to really make these changes for myself. And I guess that's why I'm in this field, a psychologist, making a difference to other people, because I did try to, I did make a difference to myself as well. But you have both balances, and that's the best place to be.
Well, I so much appreciate the kind words, and I always appreciate your conversation. Thank you, Dr. Birnbaum, for joining us this Friday morning. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.